Hi everyone, Damon L. Jacobs here, creator of PrEP Facts. Just wanting to leave a message saying it is with an abundantly full and grateful heart that I am announcing my decision to step down from my responsibilities of moderating duties at PrEP Facts. And as of tonight, Michael Chansley will be taking over that position in PrEP Facts. And I will be staying on as a member. I will be still continuing to participate. The group isn't going anywhere. But I just wanted to talk about how this group came about and where I think it's going next. And I wrote some of this down because I knew I would not remember all of it, so bear with me. I created this group in 2013 with really two basic intentions. One was to have a reliable, fact-based science group that was available globally on Facebook, and to facilitate conversations about sexuality that were based in pleasure and science. Back then, in 2013, I was still actively doing outreach and education for HIV vaccine trials in Manhattan through an organization called Project Achieve. And it was my goal, it was my job to go out to bars and clubs and talk to people in the middle of the night about HIV prevention and safer sex and try to get them interested and engaged about learning about a vaccine trial when they were calm and sober and able to do so. And what amazed me during that time was that even after the US FDA approved PrEP to be used as HIV prevention strategy, actually our first HIV prevention strategy that was approved by the FDA on July 16th, 2012. And even after that, I was constantly working in the field, meeting young men, specifically young men of color, who had never heard of PrEP, who had recently been newly diagnosed with HIV. So when I'd approach them about an HIV vaccine trial, I generally would get, well, thanks, but no thanks, or, you're a month or a year too late, but, keep going. Good luck with that. And it was just astounding to me how we could have a way to prevent HIV that was medically, scientifically based, and nobody in New York City was learning about it. No one was teaching about it. No one was helping people learn about it. When my job ended at Project Achieve, because the vaccine trials ended in the spring of 2013, I was just so disappointed that, first of all, that the vaccine didn't find any efficacy. And it also sucks to lose your job when you really like what you do. And I was just really pissed off that people couldn't get any accurate information or communication about PrEP anywhere. So I was just ranting to my friend Eddie about this and talking about how there was nowhere on Facebook or social media that anyone could learn about PrEP. And it was just okay, fine. If you want people to learn, stop whining, stop complaining, just start doing something. It's not the 90s anymore. You don't need a budget or an agency or any money to put out a message. You just need a Wi-Fi connection and a lot of energy and a large cup of coffee, and well, I probably don't need the coffee, so I was just going to go ahead and do it. So I started this group July 1st, 2013 for that reason, so people could learn about facts and have information-based discussions about science and about sex and about pleasure. And that's where the concept really came from. What if somebody could use Facebook to educate, to promote compassion, to promote pleasure in a really healthy way? And learn and be treated with respect as they're learning new things. And I've worked really hard the last 7 years, day and night, where I'm doing this now in the middle of the night, to help people understand these concepts. And I feel like along the way, there were at least two really valuable lessons that I've learned. I'm sure a lot more, but just two stand out at this moment. The first is that we cannot end the HIV epidemic without prioritizing Black lives. And when I say Black Lives Matter, I'm not just talking about a trendy slogan on social media. For me, that reflects an intention and a call to action that really seeks to prioritize Black lives, Black loves, Black experience. And still in the US, when we look at the trajectory of PrEP uptake, we see really, really large discrepancies. That although our CDC says that about 44% of new HIV diagnoses are of African Americans, that only 12% of PrEP uptake are being used by African Americans in the US. And meanwhile, if we converse that or contrast that with your statistics about white Americans, that white Americans make up about 26% of new HIV diagnoses in the US, but we make up about 75% of PrEP consumers. And I think that speaks volumes about the need for agencies and for organizations and for community groups who claim to care about reducing HIV really step up and seek to prioritize the voices of those who are most being impacted by the virus as it stands today. And so that is one really important thing that I've seen play out over the last 7 years. And then the other thing, which I think I probably have been naive about, is just that the fear about sex is everywhere. I was naive to think that PrEP would change that in and of itself. And I was naive to think that PrEP would shift the trauma that so many people of my generation have lived through with the AIDS crisis. That it would relieve the trauma and the fear about sexual intimacy and anal sex that is there. For 7 years in this group, I have seen a process where people begin using PrEP, start to understand how it prevents HIV, but then transfers that fear onto something else like STIs, or something else like resistant strains, or something else like side effects. But somewhere that fear has to go. And PrEP doesn't change that. It is a reminder to me that my generation has been conditioned to consistently associate pleasure with punishment, to relate intimacy with disease, to think about sexual vulnerability with negative outcomes. And we may get it that PrEP prevents HIV, but I've also seen it not safeguard from trauma, from self-loathing, from substance abuse, from shaming, body shaming, and loneliness. And I think these are concerns that are still there. These are concerns that are so prevalent in the gay community. And these are the concerns that I'm really excited to take on and focus on in the next chapter of my professional life, about what that looks like, what it looks like to use PrEP and U equals U as the basis as a foundation by which that we can seek to enjoy life, that we can have sex, that we can get older with power, purpose, and pleasure. I think there's a lot to look forward to. And that's kind of where my energy and my focus is going to be going once I'm not focusing on Facebook every day and night. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. And what I just want to say about that is that I have been so lucky over 7 years. I have received so much support, so much guidance, and I just need to thank a few people who have been part of that. My mom and dad. It's not every parent who would welcome their son to be, talking about bareback sex everywhere all the time. And my parents are amazing and they support this. So thanks, Mom and Dad. I know I'm really lucky for that. This group would absolutely not have continued to grow and thrive and be where we're at today had it not been for all the moderators, past and present, who have shaped and guided the direction of this group. I just need to say in particular, Amy Raspatello, who thank you, because you have been so helpful and supportive of me personally. Your guidance, your friendship, your humor, our 2 a.m. chats have been of immeasurable help to me, and you know that, but I want everyone else to know that too. I really feel like Amy is an unrecognized hero in this epidemic. She does so much behind the scenes in this group and in her organization, and someday the world's going to know that. And I hope that maybe someday are learning that. Some people are going to learn that now. I really want to give thanks to some of my mentors. Timothy Ray Brown, if you hear this, if you're aware of this. Also, Stacy Bush, Pierre Cedric Crouch, Dimitri Daskalakis, Dazon Diallo, my twin, Robert Grant, Phil Jaffe, Charles King, Scott Kramer, Jeffrey Kwong, Gal Mayer, Greg Millett, Bruce Richmond, Ace Robinson, Krishna Stone, Carol Treston, and Shannon Weber. I've been so honored to share a stage and sometimes the camera with all of you. But even more so, you have all inspired me greatly to be who I am At one time or another over the last 7 years, you have each given me some personal guidance and advice. You have answered my phone calls, my texts. You've helped me. You've nurtured me. I can't even believe it when I say this list of people that I'm so lucky and I'm so grateful. You have all made me a better leader, a better listener, and you continue to give me hope about getting through some grim times and what our future can look like. So thank you for that. And Michael Chansley, man, thank you. Thank you so much for taking this on. Michael, thank you for standing up. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being you, speaking out. It was because of your work in New Orleans that I learned about you, and I got to see what you were about and see how amazing you communicate, how you really, really demonstrate through your words, through your actions, both in person and in social media, how much you care. How much compassion you have, how much passion you have about making our world a better place for so many people in so many ways. And that is so outstanding to me. I admire you so much, and I'm so thankful to you for helping me feel safe about stepping down. And it is really because of your capable leadership that I feel really good and really comfortable about doing this. And Adam Singer, for reasons you know well, my darling, I'm incredibly fortunate and grateful to you for being part of this wacky ride, for being patient with me, for being so good to me all the time. Thank you for your supportive and loving energy. And finally, to the members of this group, there have been at least like 22,000 people who have come and gone over the last 7 years. So many of you I've had the opportunity to meet in person and say hello to in person and share a drink in person or two. And all of you have contributed one way to another of this making this dream, this idea come true, that we could have this space to talk about pleasure and sex in really healthy ways. You've all helped me realize that facts matter, that compassion is central, that sexuality is healthy, and that we all have a right to understand how to be proactive, responsible, and empowered about our pleasure. So thank you, everybody, for watching this. Thank you for listening. Thank you for loving. I'm signing off for now, but I am not going anywhere. This group is not going anywhere. Thank you so much.